Hello guys and welcome back to another episode. Now before this episode starts with Greg and Saoirse, Saoirse asked me to tell you guys, we didn't mention it in this podcast, but Saoirse is a stand-up comedian, okay? And she has a virtual show this Thursday at 9 p.m. in the Chicken Box. So please, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Please go check it out and support her because she is really funny, and I did have the pleasure of actually doing a gig with her a while back. So guys, please go show support, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode 36 of the RA podcast. Hello everybody and welcome back to the RA podcast. Remember, it's not the best podcast, not the worst podcast, just an RA podcast. Guys, welcome back to episode 35 or 36 actually, 36 of the RA podcast, and we are actually first time ever doing it through the webcam. We're doing it with these two, and I just want to introduce these guys that are on the podcast for this week. One is, you guys know Greg already. Greg is actually the most viewed on the channel so far. So well done, Greg. He's a musician. We also have Saoirse Smith. She is a stand-up comedian. Now I'm gonna get Saoirse to talk about herself a little bit, because she is new to the channel. So Saoirse, please, a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I actually refer to myself as a sit-down comedian, causing the wheels, you know. But yeah, no, I'm new to comedy now. I've been on doing about a year and a bit, but it's great crack. I love it. I'm lost without it at the moment.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. I love every minute of it.
And for the likes of yourself, Saoirse, I am going to get into it is all these questions that when people do interviews and so that they always ask, oh, what got you started and so, and I will be asking the same boring questions, but I'm sure that you'll give a good answer anyway. So, but Greg, for the people that are new to the channel and don't really know you, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Greg. I am an actor, filmmaker, and musician, and I'm also very, very weird.
Yes, very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, and I'm from Kildare.
Well done.
I'm the Fresh Prince of Kildare. So that's all you need to know about me.
Yeah, he's the Fresh Prince of Kildare. Well done. Yeah, guys, so we're going to get into it now. We have a few topics, and I want to talk about it as well. I know it's just like everybody's talking about on the podcast and like that, but I just want to get your thoughts on what's happening right now, and especially for the two of you as well, that I know that it's bad right now, probably more for some than others, but for the creative side, I also think it is a good time that the two of you, because you can sit down and write, Saoirse, and also Greg, you can sit down and you can write songs at this time, and your creative side is also, it's giving you the chance to actually sit down and go, right, when this all blows over, I'll have so much more content for stand-up as well. And for the likes of yourself, Greg, you'd have a lot of songs that you can probably go to a studio and record and stuff like that as well. But Saoirse, what do you think about online, doing stand-up online when people are watching? Do you think it's the same as being in an actual club, or do you think we should wipe out, say no to like the online stand-ups where people get onto something like this and they do that stand-up without a crowd in front of them?
I think it's not the same. No, it's definitely not the same. It's a very surreal experience because I did a virtual comedy gig, and because we did through Zoom as well, you can't have everybody's mics on because the clapping would interfere. So you don't get that reaction, that response from the crowd. But I do think you need to have them because, you know, everybody needs a laugh, especially during this time. Like, it's such a difficult time.
Yeah.
And, you know, us comedians need to express our creative abilities, but everyone else needs a good laugh at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they're vital at the moment, you know, for comedy.
Yeah. You know a lot more than me, Saoirse. I only started doing stand-up. But how did your last gig go before all this went off? Was it good? How did your last gig go before you can go, right, I can't go back into clubs and do it anymore?
Well, it's strange. The last gig I did actually went very well. Yeah, it was really. And then I was due to do a gig in Ennis, where my family, some part of my family live, and I couldn't do it. I was gutted, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would be the last gig, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like the likes of yourself, then if you done the gig and that was your last gig for a while, at least it went good. I done a gig in the Halfpenny Bridge downstairs in the Halfpenny Bridge in the KO Comedy Club, and I don't know whether to do comedy again. I know you're probably going to be like, come here, that happens to everybody. But my last gig, I got up on stage and I tried to do a set that I literally just thought up on the spot, and it didn't work. So I went to default mode and I done the jokes that you've seen when I was at the Halfpenny Bridge.
Yeah.
And no one laughed, and I heard the comedians down the back going, "Oh my god, this is so bad," and I felt so. And ever since then, I've been like, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. What do you think for someone out there like myself or so that has that kind of fear now? Do you think I should? It's like saying if you fall off a horse, you need to get straight back on it, or you're not going to get on it again. Do you think it's something like that?
Well, you see, even me, I did a few new jokes that night. I was doing a gig with you.
Yeah.
You know, some didn't land, some of them did. But the thing is with me is what I do is I start with the old, so I get myself comfortable and the audience comfortable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I throw in the new stuff.
That's good though, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
But I say don't give up now, you know, but always have something. Start yourself off with something that you've done. Just kind of get yourself into the groove of it, and then try something new.
Yeah, get their attention. Get their attention. Because Greg, I need to tell you, Saoirse, Greg, all right, this man has a voice, and I mean he has a really nice voice. And
thank you.
I experienced that when I done the live set in Maynooth, and he got up on stage for the first time, and he was singing Chasing Cars at one point. That was one of his songs. That was 3 songs. He had the whole place singing with him. And do you ever go to a concert and you have goosebumps and you're like, oh my god, I'm here and I'm witnessing it? That's what I was like, oh my god. And I just got goosebumps, like literally. Do you know when you watch the X Factor and someone's like, ah, and she's like fucking singing properly, and just goosebumps everywhere. You're like, oh my god, tingles down your back. And that's what I got with this guy here when he was singing. And when he sings at halftime or so like that, or in a few minutes or so, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know if the audio will sound good or not on this because of what we're recording, but you will hear his voice, and it is really good. But for the likes of so sorry, I was kind of going off track there. So for the likes of the virus and everything that's happening now, for people that don't know, Saoirse said she's a sit-down comedian. So Saoirse, if you want to explain more about that, if you want, it's up to yourself.
So I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy, so I'm a wheelchair user.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the wheelchair all the time, and so I kind of work that into my set. You know, my jokes are based around my life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So that's how I do my set, and that's how I kind of get my sense of humor out there as well. Because I don't take my disability seriously.
Yeah.
And my way of making people comfortable with with disabilities in general.
I think a lot of people, when they see someone in a wheelchair, they act a certain way. It's like, oh, be careful. Oh, do you get me? And I think when I saw you on stage and I seen that you were kind of just going, here, like someone can look at it and go, here, it's okay. Like she can make a joke out of it. She can laugh about it. So I think we all need to kind of relax that little bit more, for the likes of that. Do you get me?
Oh, 100%. Like, a lot of people are very afraid to ask me questions or to speak to me. And, no, I'm just like everyone else. Like, if you have questions, fire away, ask. I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know people are curious, but we're just like everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I heard this story once, like my friend, sorry for interrupting you.
No, go on.
My friend, Stuart, who's he's a comedian himself, and he I can't remember where he said this happened, but he said that he once met someone, might have been a hospital or something, but he met someone who was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And now he said he went up to the person and said, "How are you getting on, you crippled bastard?"
And
Yeah, because he saw that other people in the place were just being too careful around him and just being over polite to him, and he could see, he could tell he just wasn't enjoying it as much.
Yeah, so he broke the tension, like.
Yeah, yes, he did that just to see how he'd react, and he said he laughed about it, and then said it actually put him in a better place whenever he pulled the Mickey out of him first.
Yeah. That's what you want, isn't it? Like that's like you don't you want to what you mad bastard? Go on, that's it. Someone different, like.
Yeah, it takes some balls to do that. So
like get me, but even the fact that like for someone to even like think like that and go, oh, it takes some confidence now to say that to someone. It's like, no, it doesn't, man. What's up with you? Like they'll be fine. Now some people there is some people out there that are going through a lot of stuff, and they just there is sometimes they don't want to hear that, or they're just not ready to hear stuff like that. But for like yourself, Saoirse, Greg just said that there, and you were fucking laughing at Jimmy, so you can see that your sense of humor is like Johnny in there and stuff like that. But as you said as well, before we start, Greg, are you asthmatic as well? Are you? Was it you?
No, I've Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah. But
I'm on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah. But for the likes of yourself, then for the two of you, is what's it like going out? Are you stuck in the house for the two of you now? Are you stuck in the house a lot? Like, and when you are, what are you doing to keep yourself so creative and keeping your creativity going?
I'm stuck in the house nearly all the time.
Yeah.
Due to I've got asthma and I've had bronchitis and underlying conditions, so I'm high risk.
Yeah.
So I can't go out at all.
Yeah.
And like if I do go out, I go out for about an hour, like at 1 o'clock at night.
Oh, so you have to wait until really late at night where everybody's kind of in and.
Yeah.
Jesus. So does that mess with your sleep pattern then?
It does, yeah, and it does. And my sleep pattern's all over the place, to be honest. Like I try to get up as early as I can, but like I need my fresh air. I need to get out. You know,
would you chill out the back or out the front or out the back garden or so like that as well, or so? Or
I do a bit, but it's just even getting the exercise, having a bit of that hour, just pushing for a bit, bringing the dog out. You know what I mean? But it's such a weird situation, and like creatively, I've had a bit of a roadblock. Like because I get inspired by what happens to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but I've been forcing myself just to write a little bit each day, just kind of get that, you know, to have a bit of stuff going on. But also, I said to Steve before we started, TikTok has been the saving grace.
Yeah, TikTok. I'm telling you now, it's the new Vine, and it's amazing. I've done a TikTok. I made a TikTok as well, and I'll follow you on it as well if you make videos or so. But it's just amazing, and you see people are like, how did they come up with that? And then you come up with kind of some video, and you're like, people are really liking it inside, and you're like, oh my god, I need to make more. But that's another way of being creative while being inside or side that as well, you know. But Greg, for you, how do you keep yourself busy and occupied during this?
There's a few things I've been doing. My course is being continued online. And most of our classes are happening over Zoom, and I've had assignments to be keeping up with. These will be the final for the year, so they're pretty important. So I've been spending a bit of time kind of working on them before final submissions. Creatively, I've been, or first I'll say, like, to keep my head in a good place. Like, I've been talking to people like over the phone, been doing it. Like the likes of yourself, Bobby, and all that, and it just reminds you like everyone is still there, everyone's still out there, and they're all good. On a creative way, I've been, as you said, I've been working on a lot of music. Yeah, and there's this new song I've made. I think I've kind of touched up on it over the last couple of weeks, and I'm really proud of it. And I feel like my guitar playing's actually improved a lot since then. Good. And and I've been starting to write a couple of scripts as well.
Oh. So can't wait to hear about them now.
Thanks.
Can't wait to hear about them. But thanks. So Greg, if you want, if you want to go get your guitar, and we could
Sure thing.
hear some of your music. So yeah, so hello, Saoirse. How's it going? What's up? What's crank?
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, I just want to say to people as well that when I done my gig in the Halfpenny Bridge, I got in there so early, and I went in and I seen Saoirse over there. You were over in the corner. You were over at the table, and I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh man, what's happening here?" And I was like, "There's no one here." And literally, we performed to 5 people, didn't we? 5 people in the crowd plus the comedian. There was more comedians than there was people.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a good feel about it. Like it was at ease. I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually relaxing. Like you're not more a lot of pressure."
I find it more pressure to perform for the comedians, to be honest.
Oh really?
Yeah, because the comedians have seen my stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And it's really hard. But, like, that night was really good because, like, it has a small bit of group of the audience and then them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And like, Damo Clark is a great MC, so he was brilliant.
I didn't know who he was until then, and then I looked him up and I was like, "Oh my god, this fella's fucking huge." Like, I didn't know who he was.
Oh, he's so brilliant. I love him. He's so brilliant. Like,
When I done my set and I seen him laughing a lot, and then I looked him up, I was in my room and I was literally like this on the phone. I was like this, and then I was like that, and I goes, "Oh my god, he's like," I was like, "Oh my god, he laughed at my stuff." And I was like that fucking, it was mad. Like, but yeah, I will talk about more of that. But Greg's just gonna perform a song now, so we can just sit here, chill here. So Greg, take it away, man, with our new original song. So here we go. There's Greg Young with his original song.
Thanks. This song's called Right Here.
Put your phone out there, Sean. Come on.
Step inside the state of mind. We can leave our thoughts behind. Wanna get to know your kind. Come on down to the edge of town. We can look down on the city lights. Don't wanna be left behind. Wasted hanging from the trees, all the love that I'll ever need. Just sing a song that makes you feel free. I'll say it over again. My head comes back to the ground again. I need you here. I swear it on my heart, 'cause you're right here with me from the start, my friend. I need you right in this moment till the end. I remember years ago, we
first met, we were inseparable, electrified by your electric song. Now we're here, invincible, racing fast on this tightrope we call life, riding on the edge of the night. I'll say it all over again. My head comes back to the ground again. I need you here. I swear it on my heart. So you're right here with me from the start, my friend. I need you right in this moment till the end. Till the end. I'll say it all over again. My head comes back to the ground again. I need you here. I swear it on my heart. Somebody with me from the start, my friend. I need you right in this moment till the end. Till the end. Till the end. Some days come too fast, some things will never last. Some days come too fast, some things are made to last. Some days come too fast, some things are made to last. Some days come too fast, some things are made to last.
That is Greg Young with his album, the song that goes on for 10 minutes. Good man, loving it. Right, so we're going to get back into it.
Is that your civil way of telling me I went for too long?
No. Everybody, there's loads of musicians that have songs for like go on for like 10, 11 minutes. If you create a song or you make a song, you make that song and you keep that song as long as possible. Once the lyrics are good in it. No, don't be apologizing at all. That's your song. What's wrong with you?
No, I was talking. Sorry for flipping the camera.
Oh, all right. So, during
I'm
that, I went through 3 or 4 different disguises. I was a bank robber, a girl in a burqa, and now I am a sassy bitch. And I don't know. I'm starting to like this style. I am. Yes, queen. So there you go. There's Greg Young with his original song. Greg, I'm thinking of having you on, and every podcast, even if you're not in the podcast, even at half time, I will put you up on your own for a song, just to have it for half time or so like that as well. Even if it's a cover of a song, I don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, perfect, right? So we're gonna get back into it now. Yeah, so guys, I'm telling you now, we were supposed to do this podcast a while ago, and we all have our own things going on. We all have our own things, and thank God last time when we were supposed to do it, we didn't end up doing it because everybody's affected in a way through all this stuff. And I would consider myself as a cheerful guy, but sometimes I get a bit, oh Jesus, and I was in one of them moods, so I thank God I didn't really it didn't really go ahead. But there's a reason for everything. Well, I think there's some reasons for everything anyway.
Yeah.
And this is one of them, because this I think my mood wouldn't have been the same as it is now. It would have been like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Like, I'm more uplifting now and stuff like that as well. And I think with musicians or comedians or any entertainers at all, a lot of people say you have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. But would you agree that you have to be yourself, but also to a certain to a certain limit, you have to also put on an act. You have to like be yourself, but more uplifting or hype to get that attraction. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'd say
100%.
Yeah. Like when
Yeah.
you're going up and being a musician, you have to go up and you have to interact. But you just here we go. This meet will end in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's no problem. Thanks, Zoom, for ruining the screen for us. But anyway, yeah. So say if a musician goes up on stage or so, and the musician goes, "Hi guys, so I'm going to play Wonderwall," and then whatever, or he's going to go up and say, "Yeah, this is about me cat that passed away, and the dog didn't even like the cat." Like, it's just, he doesn't go up and make sense, and he just talks in a low monotone voice.
Yeah.
You're literally going to be like, "Oh my god, what is this?" And the next fall, all you can hear is, "Today is gonna be the day." And you're like, "Oh my god, I love that song. I love the song, but I don't like him." But with the comedians as well, if you go on stage and you go, "Hi guys," a lot of acts, I can't say that about a lot of comedians, because there's a lot of acts that's their acts. They kind of go, "Hi, my name is Todd," and it's the way they act. It's not who they are, but it's the way they act to a certain degree. So Saoirse, who kind of inspired you to become like a stand-up, or why did you get into stand-up?
What inspired me, to be honest, like I love like Billy Connolly, and you know what I mean, and I love a lot of comedians like Lee Evans and stuff like that, and you know, and also I know it's kind of not many people like him, but I do like Jim Jeffries as well.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched a lot of him. A lot of people do talk about him, so I think I should get into him.
Yeah, but I studied theatre in college, and I loved performing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with, you know, and I really missed it. I miss performing, and with comedy, I looked at it, like I do a bit in my show, in my set, where I found an advertisement for stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I went and did it, and I love it. Like, it's so good, because not only like do I get to perform, but I get to be me. I get to be myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a more kind of sometimes more of exaggerated version of myself.
Oh, you have to though. You have to.
Yeah.
Like my inspiration for stand-up and all would be Jim Carrey. His energy.
I love Jim Carrey,
and Lee Evans as well. The way they go on, and Lee Evans runs around the stage and he's sweating and he's like a chimpanzee, as he calls himself, a little chimp. And with Jim Carrey, he shows like he's up there, he's energetic. But realistically, like Jim Carrey, realistically, he does say that he's like that to a certain extent, but then he's not really as well. John, there's another side to him as well, but like I think a lot of people, a lot of entertainers do put on a kind of persona to do that. They kind of have to get me, because as I said, you likes of that. But Greg, for the likes of yourself, who kind of, we probably touched on this topic in our episode, but for the people that don't know, kind of who was your inspiration?
My inspiration is Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. For the acting, yeah. For the acting, yeah. Yeah.
I'd say, well, if you wanted comedians, like my favorite comedians would be Brendan Grace and John Bishop, the likes of them, because Brendan Grace is he's a very good actor and musician as well.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, like he was the one who inspired me to act.
Yeah.
To kind of take that kind of route in life, because it sounds silly now, but like there was like one scene he did in like one of his lesser known films where it just made me feel a certain way, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that for people. I want to do that. And then so yeah, he kind of got me started off in that route.
Yeah.
In terms of music, I guess I wasn't really listening to music properly when I kind of started singing. It was just something everyone in my school had to do. Because Catholic school, you'd have to learn all these hymns and for assembly and all that, and like it was a lot. But as I got into secondary school, I listened to a lot of Ed Sheeran, Queen, like very different stuff. I know I had a phase where I was mad into EDM all the time. Then another one I was just mad into just slow acoustic stuff most of the time. And then another one was complete like rock to metalhead and all that.
Yeah.
And so I've a lot of favorites in different areas.
Yeah. But all of them, you combine all of them, put them all together you pick different traits off other people. My first, I think you will agree with me probably as well, I don't know, but the first time I ever sat down and listened to an actual album, the first ever album I actually listened to was one of Eminem's albums. I was like, shit, this white boy, like he was bloody crazy, like he was so good, like, and I was just like, but I remember I was at the teenage stage. And when you're at the teenage stage, you have your hormones are going fucking mental. And 1 minute you're like, oh, I love the life. And then you're like, this is fucking shit. And I remember sitting over the wall and I was on my phase where it's like, I wouldn't say emo, but it was just like everybody. I hate everybody. But I'd sit out on my wall and listen to Eminem and I'd be like, Eminem knows how I feel. Like I would love Eminem. And Eminem was great. And my dad loves Eminem and he plays drums. He taught himself how to play drums, and every morning you'd wake up and everybody's alarm clock is like or fucking mine was fucking bitch and fucking like Eminem. Just I woke up and I heard Eminem in the house. I would come downstairs going, bitch, I'll kill you, like that. And I think it's just a weird fucking mentality to have. But it was great. It was good. And I remember that. So for the likes of myself, my first time ever going like getting into liking music or something like that. But I find myself liking 60s music. And you know what? I watched the film. I watched the film and I don't care who shames me for it, but it's probably one of my best films ever. I recently watched Dirty Dancing and I swear to God, it's so fucking good. And I was playing the soundtrack and I was like, be my baby. And I'm in there with a sweeping brush dancing. I'm like, I'm not even messing. I'm going around the house sweeping because I have my own little granny flat and I'm literally going around cleaning. I clean it every day because I have 2 dogs and I'm cleaning it. And I'm literally like, be my baby. And then it's like the soundtrack fucking plays like, baby. Like I'm going fucking mad around the house, you know? And that I like that. I like Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles. I mean, I don't like the all fucking bitch. I don't fuck with you, bitch. Like I don't like all that fucking rap, mumble rap now. I like the beats and so some people are killing storms, you know. But I'm more into that all type of music. Like I'd sit around and listen to Elvis. And I fucking love Elvis, and I don't know why. And like people my age, like that are friends of mine, they're all like walking down the road, their hoods up and all, just motherfucker. And I'm just there going, hey, fly with me, when clouds fly away. Yeah. And they're all like, what the fuck? Like so, it's a bit mad, like. But guys, sorry, go on.
Oh no, if you have to go, it's grand.
No, go on. We have 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
I was going to say, like, for me, my dad was a musician.
Yeah.
So I was brought up with so much music, like so different varieties, like.
Oh.
So like, I love the old-timey music and all.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm
sorry,
like
that sounded like.
And the 60s, 70s, 80s, I love it all, like.
Yeah. Well, that's
even
good
then, I still listen to 80s.
Yeah. That's good though. It's good that you get brought up in different genres and then you're not just sticking to one. And I do apologize for making that noise when you went, oh, and I just went, oh, that sounded a bit creepy, and I do want to apologize for that. But yeah, so guys, we are at 1 minute and 44 seconds. So I did plan to have this about an hour, but it's 8 o'clock now, and I need to go make dinner. I haven't had something since like 12 o'clock this morning. I had a Subway, and it was massive. And guys, I do want to have you back on, and I want to have more guests because there are guests that people have on, you're just looking at them, you're not listening to them. And then there's other guests that you know that are good guests and you want them back on. Do you get me? So I said this to Greg before again, and Saoirse, you're probably just one of them people now as well. You're chilled, you're relaxed, you're just down to earth type of person. And I just found out that you like a lot of the similar songs that I like, so that's perfect. Yeah, so I'd like you guys back on. We'll get more people. We'll try to do more of a chat, and we'll try to go for longer, probably an hour and a half. And I will have more stuff. Oh my God, less than a minute. It's showing me. Stop teasing me. But anyway, I'm gonna have so many stuff written on notes, sticky notes all over the wall behind me on the computer. So I'll be like, right, this, instead of what's your favorite singer. So I won't go into that, right? So guys, please, if you have any, okay, so I have to sign off because it's telling me I have 30 seconds. So anyway, guys, please go and check out Saoirse Smith on Facebook, please. She does stand up, and hopefully when it's all over, you can go back to it, and hopefully when I'm at gigs, I'll go get gigs with you as well, and we meet up again. Greg, we will meet up again, you know yourself. So guys, thanks for coming on. Thank
you for having us.
No problem.
Thank you.
And guys, remember,
Bye.
it's not the best podcast, but it's not the worst podcast.
It's not the worst podcast.
It's, what is it, Greg?
It's just an alright podcast.
Lovely. Guys, thanks for watching. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.